still interested in, you want to come back and have a conversation. And the definition of a conversation shall not deviate for the purposes of any of my lives. And the conversation is truthful and honest questions and answers using logic to come up with solutions to problems. I'm not here to argue or debate anybody. If you want to be right, the Mad Trucker gonna let you know right now you're right. And if that means winning to you, you've won. You're right. Whatever you think. But you're far from being righteous if you don't have a conversation. Righteous meaning lawful. Okay? Because this live is also welcome to all faiths, all religions. Because there is one common thread amongst all of them. Lawful standing in those religions basically means doing unto others as you have them do unto you. Don't go do something to somebody you wouldn't want that person to do to you. And if you do that something to somebody else and somebody does it to you, you really can't complain. That's called fair play. That's called justice. And a working definition of justice is this. Justice is the ones that need help the most get the most help, and no one is mistreated for any reason. And if you ain't about justice, you in the wrong life. If you're not about a higher standard, and that's the standard, that's the higher standard. Do unto others, you have them do unto you. This is not the life for you. Now, with that being said, the canned hi is not acceptable. You have to type it because it's illogical for you to use a canned greeting. And you can first greet everybody in the room, regardless if I'm here by myself or there's a million people here, with a peaceful greeting according to your culture, your customs, and your ways. And after you do that, you can type your question, make your statement, or air out your grievances, whatever they may be. Now, today's topic is going to be a hot topic, y'all. And I'm going to tell you why it's hot, because it's been hidden for so long. And nobody's in the live yet. And usually people don't come into the live unless they want to troll or unless they really want to participate. And today's topic, I didn't have time to post it. I've been very busy. Today's topic is Mr. Blackwood, incest in America. That's today's topic. Incest in America. If the topic triggers you, you can scroll on. But it's a subject that affects everybody.
Can I get him the thing that I gave you to keep off punishment?
He cleaned his room?
He just told me, he's like, Dad didn't tell me nothing. I said, well, you
I ain't supposed to tell him. He's supposed to do that anyway. If his room ain't clean, no. If his room clean, yeah.
Okay, I go look.
Oh, look. A tomato plant.
No, I didn't worry about that one because it had no blooms or tomatoes on it.
It's all right.
I figured it would probably be best for the tree anyway, the whole sacrifice part.
Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for people to come in. I don't want to keep repeating myself. That's what this live is for. Conversations. Truthful and honest questions and answers using logic to come up with solutions to problems. Problems that affect us all. Because I'm here to expose the lies that enslave us all. And I'm putting myself on the line for that because I'm not getting paid by YouTube, TikTok, or any social media platform. I'm doing it because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not ashamed to speak the truth. And if you catch me in a lie, hey, let me know what I'm lying about. But it can't be I'm lying because you said so. You got to come with some receipts because the Mad Trucker going to come with receipts. I got a bill of lading. And I know what's in the load. So please come with receipts. If I'm wrong, if I'm incorrect, if I could have approached something differently. Because if you do that, iron sharpens iron. Because regardless of your religion, your faith, or what you happen to believe in, critical truth doesn't change because of that. And your personal truth is your personal truth. And I'm not going to have or tolerate anybody bullying anybody because of their skin tone, race, religion, political affiliation. But if you want to come at somebody, you better come with a fact, not a feeling or an opinion. Because feelings change. Opinions change. See? And a whole lot of feelings and opinions need to change. And people need to put them in perspective. And that's what this live is about for all of us. And it's usually not appreciated, but I do appreciate you if you're watching this now or at a later date. Shalom. And thank you, Javier Daniel. Welcome to the live. Today's a real touchy subject. I'm just gonna let you know right now, it's a touchy subject. And it deals with incest in America. Incest in America is the topic today, and how the government covered it up for 100 years. For 100 years, America been quiet about that topic because they practice it, they believe in it, they keep it in the family. Like the royal family, they keep it in the family. That big extended jaw, that one monarch that all he could do was slob. His tongue was so big he couldn't speak because they want to make some kind of pure race, and it's really it's not natural. It's not natural. Yeah, the government is involved on it, and that's why I have a video. I haven't put it up yet. I'm waiting for this person to reply because I give everybody a chance to explain themselves. To stand by their work, so to speak. Because if you do something, you should stand by your work. If I go out and do something that is against the law, I should stand by my work. I should admit I was the one that did it. My fingerprints are all over it. Right? But we're not taught like that because the system that we're in is unjust. The justice system was never designed to produce justice. Justice is the ones that need help the most get the most help, and nobody's mistreated for any reason. And the system that this country has been based on and has been running is that the ones that don't need help at all, they get all the help. And the ones that need help the most, they always getting it from them, of all skin tones. But due to that pseudoscience of race, this pseudoscience of race, the system of race, that being racism, yeah, people are conditioned to think a certain way about people based on their physical appearance alone without having conversations. Because like I said at the beginning of the live, I'm not here to argue with nobody, debate with nobody. If you want to be right, and that mean winning to you, make you feel good today, Mad Truck is here to tell you, you are right. You are right, sir. You are right, ma'am. Whatever you think, you right. But that doesn't mean that you're righteous. Righteous means proper, lawful standing. Whether you're talking about Yah's law, the Most High God's law, or you're talking about natural law, or you're talking about man's law. You see, there's 3 different laws. And if you subscribe to the higher standard, that's the common thread. You do unto others as you have them do unto you. And if you dish it out, you should be willing to take it. And if you can't take it, don't dish it out. And nowadays, people are handed privileged cards. They got privilege because they are part of the LGBT community. Whatever they say, it's the truth. And it's the God, the honest truth. No, that's your imagination. That's your reality. You are entitled to your personal truth. But you are not entitled to take your personal truth, which is your faith, your religion, what you believe, and ram it down other people's throats and make them accept it. Specifically children, because that's dangerous. Now back to the topic. Mr. Blackwood had 7 daughters. In the early 1900s, like 1905, 1906, around that time frame, he moved into the mountains in Kentucky with his wife and 7 daughters. He had 7 daughters. And he practiced the topic for today. I don't even like saying that word because it makes me want to throw up. Incest. He impregnated all 7 of his daughters. And when his wife tried to stop him, intervene, he chained her up in the attic and just chucked the food, enough food to survive. And Mr. Blackwood wrote a manifesto that he called his Bible. And in this Bible, there were instructions on how to keep their race pure. How to keep their race pure. This is in the early 1900s. Before 1910. And there were other families that were doing the same thing that Mr. Blackwood was doing in America before and after then. And it never stopped. Where did Charlie Kirk meet his demise? That whole state is full of them. Everybody was watching that show Sister Wives like it's normal. But it's not natural. That's not natural. Regardless if you believe in the Bible or not, because your kids come out and their eyeballs touch. And Mr. Blackwood had several experiments buried in the back of his yard. You know, them kids whose eyeballs, curled back and they touch so close that their brains fell out the back of their skulls, and he put them in graves. And when the townsfolk, they never would be invited to the big house where his family stayed. When the town folks asked the authorities what was going on with Mr. Blackwood, they were told to shh. Now, the culture I'm from, in the book that I subscribe to, it says if you have a light, that being knowledge, if you have a light, you don't put it under a bushel. You put it on a candlestick so that it gives light unto the whole house, the whole family. Well, Mr. Blackwood decided to write his little manifesto on how to keep his race pure and how it was their God-given duty to do so. And he programmed those children. And he spread that philosophy and his seed from Kentucky to New Mexico. And his wife, when she passed, she wrote a letter asking the Most High to forgive her because she knew what her husband was doing to her daughters. And you're asking the Most High to forgive her because she wasn't strong enough to stop the man. And the thing about blood, think about it. Whatever your lineage is, whatever blood is in your veins, it doesn't mean that you're better or less than anybody else. And you didn't ask for it. No more than the products of Mr. Blackwood. Because in the late 90s and in the 20-teens, they released Caroline, his youngest daughter, got away from that foolishness, subscribed to a righteous standard, and she turned in her memoirs, describing what her dad did to her and her sisters, and what her dad taught her and her sisters, because she knew deep down in her soul that it wasn't right. And guess what she was told? Caroline was told to shh by the government. Do a little research. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go with this? All the presidents are related in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because they were mirroring the things that were going on in England with the royal family. And look at Prince Charles. His teeth look like they throwing up gang signs, don't they? Why you think that is? But it's not his fault. But you know what is his fault? Not subscribing to a righteous standard to treat people the way he wants to be treated. You know what is his fault? Not trying to produce justice. Because if you produce justice, you know what's a default of justice? Peace. Shalom. Shalom. And that is his fault. Just like the presidents that came before Trump. All of them. I don't care what skin they was in. I'm not a Republican nor am I a Democrat. I don't subscribe to politics. I vote locally, and I really don't do too much of that. Because the people running for that office, they got to be a part of my nation. They have to be a part of my culture for me to even participate in it. That's what the standard that I read says. If that person doesn't serve the Most High, if that person does not do Feast of Trumpets, if that person does not do Festival of Boots, if that person does not do Pentecost, if that person does not subscribe to the scripture, I'm not supposed to vote for that person. Because in my culture, it's no such thing in picking the lesser of two evils. Because if you pick evil, regardless if it's the lesser or the greater, it's still evil. And there are still some people on this planet, like myself, don't want to pick evil. And this system has been evil towards prisoners of war ever since its inception, and they captured them. All those copper-colored people that they captured, that they changed their names and made them pick cotton and chop sugar cane on the islands and chop mahogany in Central America. Them slaves were all prisoners of war. And if you really want to go to the standard and say, oh, slavery is in the Bible, you really should read it so that it blesses you, because that's not how that's supposed to work. Chattel slavery is not in the Bible. You're not going to find any genealogy or any book, chapter, and verse that says that it's okay for you to make somebody your slave. And once they're your slave, not only is that person your slave, they are your property. And their children are your property, and their children and their children and their children's children are your property. That's not biblical. And in Utah, that whole philosophy that Mr. Blackwood subscribes to, yeah, they started a whole religion on that called Mormonism. That's why Mormons aren't allowed to read anything outside of what the church allows them to read, because they use the standard to enslave them against their knowledge or with their knowledge. And it's tragic, to be honest with you, because if you don't have empathy, you can't expect to get none. And I empathize with those people. And it's not their fault that they're here, but it's their fault if they don't subscribe to a righteous standard. Because guess what? Nobody has to tell you when you do something to hurt somebody else that you hurt that person. My daughter's almost a year old, and we play and stuff. She'll hit me. Oh, why you hit daddy? And she'll look at me and she'll start crying. And she can't even speak yet. If she pop me, pop a little hand, she'll look at me. She'll kiss me on my cheek. It's in everybody's DNA. If you tap into it, that righteous standard that I'm always going on about and hashtagging. To do unto others, you have them do unto you, for this is the law and the prophets. Yeah, humanity wasn't trying to get the first part right. Think about the transatlantic slave trade, the Islamic slave trade. Think about the war that's going on over there on the Gaza Strip. Think about the people that's running this nation and the unjust laws that they passing because they want to get at these children and make America great again. Was it great when Mr. Blackwood was doing what he was doing to his children? Was it? That's where y'all want to go back to. The legal age of consent for young girls should be 14. I wish somebody would. I go to jail with a smile on my face. Fact of business, anybody's daughter, I don't give a damn what color. Let some grown 30-year-old man come knock on the door talking about, yeah, I'm here to take your daughter out. Now what you hear is about to take this lead out this stick. And I'm not going to eject the cartridge to give it to you. You don't have to be told that something that was done to you made you feel like it wasn't right, like it wasn't normal, like this ain't the way it's supposed to be. You can't be honest and say that, oh, well, that's just the way that it is, and look at the way that it is and say, man, that shit's messed up. That might be the way that it is, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. And if you were seeing it from my perspective, you wouldn't want it to be that way. But that's just the way that it is. No, it's not. That's the way that unrighteous people rule the world. And that gives validity to the scripture, especially the book of Job, when it talks about the God of this world. Now, doesn't it? And I don't push my personal truth on nobody, but some things, suffice it to say, only make sense one way. That's why they got all these versions of the Bible. I'm pretty sure they got a whole bunch of different versions of the Quran. Right? Utah is full of them. But, Javier Daniel said we need to leave out with those people. Well, the thing is, that's not justice either. Because it goes back to what I'm saying. It's not those people's fault that they were born. It's not their fault that they were born. It's about what kind of person are they? What kind of mind do they have? Even somebody with learning disabilities, they know when they do something foul to somebody. but their disability shouldn't be a privilege. Because everybody should know right from wrong. And everybody, regardless of your religion, your personal truth, every day, like today's the start of a new day. Right now, the day is starting. You have a choice. Do you want to do something positive and constructive? Or do you want to do something negative and destructive? And that's the choice that everybody has. That's the equality of mankind. But all men are not created equal. Because the topic for today proves that. I wasn't created that way. My wife wasn't created that way. And my kids damn sure wasn't created that way. You see? Regardless of what religion you are. That's righteous when you talk about natural law. That's righteous when you talk about man's law. That's righteous when you talk about the law of the Most High. Because I don't abuse my wife, she don't abuse me. I'm the head. And she's my helpmeet. And she's not subservient to me. She's subservient to the mission. And we on a mission to get to the Most High. And I ain't talking about no drug. I'm talking about the Most High God. The Most High Elohim. Because we don't worship God. That word is too small. I'm God. She's God. My son is God. My daughter is God. According to your King James Bible. Read Psalms 82, 80. Matter of fact, I'm going to get it. Just so I don't misquote it. And ain't nobody watching. I don't care. I'm going to talk till I get tired today. Where my sword at, babe? I got it. And I'm not no preacher. But I preach to you. It says every male that comes out of the matrix is holy unto the Most High. That means a minister. So I will minister. I will minister this to you if you want it. But I ain't shoving it down your throat. But I'm going to read it. And then if you do subscribe to this, what they call the Bible, you tell me if the mad trucker is capping. That's all. Tell me if it's cap. And then conduct yourself accordingly. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, here it is right here. Wait one. Psalms 82. You see how God is written in all capital letters? It says, God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. You see that word gods is written in lowercase g? That's written in all uppercase, right? It says, how long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. That means to think about it. Because the Most High God is a just God. That means he produces justice. So it's not that he's not going to judge. He doesn't accept persons of the wicked. That's why it says Selah. Think about what you're reading. It says, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Right? Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are your course, or out of course. Here it is right here. I have said, ye are gods. All of you are children of the Most High. But, the only word in the English language that eliminates everything before it, right? But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Here's the third spelling of God. Verse 8. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Nations means people. Now you have three spellings of that word. Right? You see it spelled capital 2 lowercase. When it's spelled like that, that's a message. The message, judge the earth. What message? The message that Christ gave all of us. If you subscribe to this, I'm not pushing my faith on nobody. All nations, that means people. The Most High inherit all the people because he made all people. The rain fall on the wicked and the just alike. And he gave us all free will. Goes back to that choice. When you wake up, you go do something positive and constructive or negative and destructive. The choice is yours. But that's two spell. That's first spelling, right? Capital to lowercase. Then you look right here. It's in all capital letters, right? And you look right here. It's in all lowercase letters. When it's in all lowercase letters, it doesn't mean the same thing as it does when it's in all capital letters. When it's in all capital letters, it doesn't mean the same thing as when you spell it or when you write it capital into lowercase. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Especially the topic? A lot. Because Mr. Blackwood, he read that and he said he's the Most High God. And children are his property. And they're not his children. And he turned those children into kids. A child and a kid, two different things. I have children. I don't have kids. I have children. Kids are baby goats. That acronym GOAT in the hip-hop community means greatest of all time. And Mr. Blackwood wanted all of his descendants to be the greatest of all time when it comes to white supremacy. In this nation. And this nation, the government, hid that fact from everybody, protecting his descendants. That's why I say it's not them people in Utah fault, but their mindset is. Their mind is. Well, there's nobody else watching, and I'm at the half hour. Usually that's how it goes. But I want to say, may the Most High bless and keep you. May his kindness be gracious unto you. May the Most High smile on you and give you shalom. That means peace be unto you. It don't mean I'm going to strap up and blow myself up in the name of, some nonsense. That means peace be unto you. I mean that. And in these times and in these days, you better hold on to it. Because if you ain't got it, it's because you gave it up to somebody. And see, the thing is this. If you tap into the right source, you'll have peace everlasting. And all this talk about heaven, rapture, and all the whatnot, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Israel, and Ishmael is not a God of confusion. Now see, I said God, didn't I? But if you know me, you discern my spirit, right? And that's dialect, isn't it? Ain't no magic spell gonna get you into the kingdom. You can't lay on your deathbed and say, oh, Jesus, forgive me. And you're gonna go. Because faith without works is DOA. And one day to the Most High is 1,000 years to us. That's why no man knows that hour. And that's why people have lied about what's in this sword, in this Bible. But what's in this Bible never lied. Now, who you rolling with? I'm going to roll with the truth. Raw and uncut. I'm going to judge myself by it, and I'm going to judge others by it. And I stay locked and loaded, baby. And anybody can get it. Just like I can. At the end of the day, that's love, right? The Most High, he chastised those he loves. And to Javier Daniel, thank you for joining. I appreciate the brief time that you stopped in, or if you're watching this at a later date, or if you even see this at all. May the Most High bless and keep you. Thanks for watching. I'm the Mad Trucker. Shalom.